and welcome to the Oddity Archive, this show that needs some serious equipment upgrades and replacements, but can't afford them. I swear we've been through this before. So, as such, I have taken a short contract, about 27 minutes, with a certain major chain of general merchandise type stores. And thankfully, I am not working retail per se. I'm in loss prevention. Because nothing says don't steal from us like me. Now, the last time I had to do the whole stupid menial job thing was back in Colorado, and I was just appalled at how out of date my training videos were. I mean, not just the content itself, but the video formats. I mean, they were mostly still on tape. Well, as it turns out, South Dakota is even worse. My employee training video isn't technically a video at all. It's a film. 16 millimeter, to be exact. And I had to borrow a projector just for the occasion.
The thief. They belong to the business executive, the grandmother,
Looks like someone's nicked a few frames of the film.
the factory worker. But many merchants don't guard against these hands.
Aw, yeah, this Andy Williams album is gonna get me some big bucks on the collector's market in 50 years.
And stick-up men combined. They are the hands of the shoplifter.
The shoplifter, in color, namely red. That badass ripping off the Value Village. Oh, come on, you're not gonna stick a slug in the candy dispenser for a few free good and plenties? Weenie. And this has what to do with the highway system? Nice to see Ernst & Ernst finally become a bit more liberal about their hiring practices. Finally got someone outside the family. You can leader a Herbert to direct, but you can't make him right.
Excuse me. Your business is selling merchandise, right?
Oh, you hear it too?
Yes, it is.
The call heard round Akron.
Yes, and merchandising is the way to do it. Appealing displays, easy to serve oneself.
Hey, I know all about being self-serving.
Unfortunately, many customers take this serve yourself too literally.
Heh, this teeny-weeny nightie is all mine.
Of every 60 customers entering your store will want it so badly, they will attempt to steal it.
Especially those pesky pajama-bottomed teenage girls.
In the eye of an unobservant salesperson.
Let's see, shifty eye movements, stiff, slow maneuvering, openly fondling the item I want. You are one smooth operator, Henrietta.
Of need, for the thrill of it, for luxuries.
She has an entire rib roast under that hat.
Shoplifters come from all economic levels.
Cutting a hole through my pocket was genius! Damn it! Okay, maybe I didn't think that out as well as I could have.
Lunch hour are choice times because that's when alertness by sales personnel is usually the lowest.
Duly noted.
But who steals, why, and when they steal makes little difference to the salesperson who does the most efficient job possible.
Okay, first off, Bill, would it kill you to invest in a ruler? Second, quit pasting your scribbles onto the profit and loss statements.
Saying that protecting your store's profits enhances your opportunity for salary increases.
Assuming you're in upper management.
Affects you as a customer in other stores, since shoplifting losses are added to the price of merchandise.
I wasn't in the mood for caviar anyway.
Here you see actual footage of a professional shoplifter at work.
Who just happens to bring her own camera and lighting crew.
No one in the supermarket knows what is taking place.
La-da-da, just shooting a home movie.
Neatly. Too neatly.
I mean, everybody knows you're supposed to freestyle steak stacks.
Appear to be an average housewife. But an alert salesperson will notice the large coat, full skirt, and big purse.
Or she's just anticipating the 90s.
The concealment of merchandise.
Let's see, tenderloin, New York strip. Oh, there we go. Skirt steak.
Legs.
So that's where her special marinade comes from.
One of the many methods of boosting, the professional term for shoplifting. And it's the most common technique employed by the female pro.
Guy's got no thighs.
See, she can make off with portable television sets, typewriters, radios, tape recorders, and small appliances just as easily.
You ought to see her with a Cuisinart.
Items weighing as much as 25 pounds.
In other words, she's broken a few thigh masters in her day. How much can we belabor this point?
It is folly for retail merchants to attempt to cut selling and operating costs by reducing the number of sales personnel,
Well, until the self-check comes along. Then reduce away.
and is far less expensive than losses to shoplifters. What this shoplifter can steal in seconds will more than pay the daily wage of a good salesperson.
You know, I think you're doing more to encourage theft right now.
Stealing cartons of cigarettes, this professional can easily earn $100 a day.
Tax-free.
She earns as much or more when working drugstores, clothing stores, hardware or discount stores.
You would be amazed at the black market for bottles of Wonder Bubble from the 5 and dime.
The self-service store. The removal of barriers between goods and customers and the improved display techniques, which are psychologically designed to increase buying.
I'll just put these random 30 items back on a random aisle. Nothing suspicious.
The dollar value of what they steal far exceeds that of the amateur shoplifter. Pros usually steal
Would you look at that, Betty? Another one stuffing camels up a skirt. Just had to move to Akron, right?
large department store believes one professional shoplifter is more costly than 100 amateurs, while some store managers claim the small but frequent theft of the amateur is their greatest loss.
You ought to hear them get into it on grocery store middle management bowling night.
And boosters know it. They are also quick to recognize sales personnel working on commission, because a stall will usually send them scurrying to a hotter sales prospect.
Okay, Best Buy is a good place to rob. Got it.
But regardless of who is the greatest,
Oh, poor dearie's got a drop of blood running down her leg. That time of the month must be pure HECK.
sales personnel who acknowledge all customers. This professional will be the first to admit that the presence of an observant, alert salesperson would have sent her away empty-handed. This is the merchandise she carried out of the store. However, she neglected to pay for these items.
Viceroys? Oh man, she's slipping.
If a professional shoplifter can get an item between her legs without you seeing them,
Stick a few cans of kiwi up there too, then I'll be impressed.
any store to steal almost any item. No, these slacks weren't exactly what she wanted. The green ones are. Use the check system.
Check for fashion faux pas.
Earned. Many service areas provide supervised checking facilities for their customers' convenience and for their own protection.
Have a nice day, Mr. Hill.
Professionals often work in pairs. No one could be more casual than this customer, despite all the activity going on behind her.
Oh man, Miss Francis really went downhill after Ding Dong School.
And a hidden zipper allows a lifter to do her own stuffing while the partner acts as a lookout.
Worst 30s comedy short of the 60s.
It's estimated that 1 of every 60 customers to enter your store tomorrow will try to steal something.
And yes, they will all be wearing horse blanket pants.
To defeating this rising tide of shoplifting lies with you, the observant store employee.
Well, thanks for finally acknowledging me.
Cleverest shoplifter cannot steal from you if you realize that quick, courteous service to customers is your primary function.
Well, that and I intend to carry a taser that could take down an amphetamine-fueled lion.
The most effective solution to shoplifting is the prevention of the theft. To steal from you and your store, the shoplifter must have two favorable conditions:
Low humidity and a long coat. Yep, got it.
and privacy to steal it. Since you are in the business to sell merchandise, you must display your wares.
Gee, I hope they never invent locks.
Reduction of the shoplifter's sense of privacy. You can do this by doing the best job of selling you can.
Nah, I didn't want your stupid pencil sharpener anyway.
Convex mirrors, peepholes, and observation points also eliminate
Moving on up from his job as bowling pin resetter.
100 observation points. Closed-circuit television cameras and other electronic devices cannot compensate for good salespeople who are aware of everything going on around them.
Yeah, that's right, Mrs. Harris, you little minx. You know I like it when you wear the low-cut Kmart print.
What's an alert salesperson? They know they're being watched.
And taunted endlessly by the local teenagers.
Everything in your job. It not only increases sales, but decreases shoplifting.
Why, hello, Mrs. Brown. We're looking fine today.
Your duty as an efficient, courteous salesperson.
Why, yes, Mrs. Brown. I put the dry mustard on a lower shelf today. I'm such a naughty boy.
An adequate number of salespeople during busy hours ensures prompt service and prevents mass shoplifting.
And just wait till they invent the flash mob.
Controlling your aisles is also.
I didn't want your stupid clock kebab anyway.
Other shoplifting preventatives include elevated sales stations for complete surveillance
And maximum superiority complex.
of your merchandise, adequate lighting, and low displays.
Boys' shorts 2 for $1? Hell yeah!
Shoplifters develop patterns for stealing.
No cross-stitching required.
Shoplifter never keeps his eyes on the merchandise. He watches you and the customers around him, waiting for
Oh, Mr. Feeney, how could you?
steal. Beware of loose coats. They can conceal countless types of items.
Especially attached ones.
Alertness on your part is the strongest preventative to shoplifting. Awareness.
No, don't mind me. I totally don't have a sheet sander down my pants. No siree.
Serve all of your customers as quickly as possible. Even if you are busy with one customer, immediately acknowledge new customers.
We don't serve gingers here.
To a customer, those words mean courtesy. To a shoplifter, it means
Piss off, sir.
you. Never leave your section unattended. And for customers who are just looking,
Kick 'em out.
and the merchandise in sight.
May I help you with that tow rope?
Asking this question is courteous.
God, I suck at this. I don't even have anything to tow.
Valuable items should be displayed out of reach.
Preferably suspended from the ceiling.
Merchandise left in stairwells, freight elevators, halls,
Dolly Parton wigs? Now who would want that?
shoplifters. After restocking departments,
Oh, maybe just one.
be returned immediately to the stockroom.
Make it 2.
This is a popular trick for stealing popular records. You can lose hundreds of records and other items to the magazine fan
Okay, how would the checkout clerk not notice that?
by putting them out of reach, behind glass, as this security-conscious department store did.
Bummer. Can't lift that Four Seasons 45.
All book-carrying customers are avid readers.
Okay, has anyone ever fallen for the hollowed-out book routine?
If you see someone take something, the best policy
Midnight Black is so not his color.
is or accuse them of shoplifting. Get a physical description, their outstanding characteristics,
Like his charm, his wit, his mildly scummy scowl.
while notifying your superior.
Can you believe that? That is so not his color.
Getting an accurate physical description and alerting your designated authority, depending upon your store's policy. You, the salesperson, by being alert, observant, courteous, and devote yourself to doing the best sales job you can.
Oh, great. I've been demoted to salesman again. And worst of all, I couldn't stop chunks of the film from getting stolen. Well, I stood my ground with the company, and I am not a salesman. And amazingly, they did not fire me. Actually, they gave me another employee training video to watch, one meant for the actual loss prevention employees. And while it's not the most modern thing in the world, it feels like home. I mean, it's back to good old VHS for this one. You know, this might not be too bad after all. Well, there's the mark of quality. Let me just adjust the tracking here.
Okay, Karen, I'll be there to assist.
Excuse me, sir. I'm with Montgomery Ward Loss Prevention and Safety. I'd like to determine the ownership of that cordless phone you have.
I didn't take anything.
I saw you conceal the merchandise under your shirt.
I saw you lick the box as well.
That's him, right over there.
Gee, thanks.
This is here. Don't make this worse than it is.
Just kick back and take in that wicked drum machine burglar alarm mashup.
You know, I paid for this. It's a present for my daughter. She's out in the car.
I always give my car-bound daughter pit sweat-soaked electronics. Come on, let's all work together. It just doesn't work, man. Uh-oh, incoming comic relief character.
Hey, Jeff.
Andy, have you and Karen caught another shoplifter?
You know, Jeff, shoplifters cost Montgomery Ward millions of dollars each year.
Yeah, millions of dollars a year. Hey, wait, isn't Montgomery Ward's out of business? Wait a minute. I think I've been had.
And for inventory.
Andy, relax. Don't be so serious. I was just kidding.
Damn, and I thought my sense of humor was dry.
You know, he's right. I am serious about my job because it's my responsibility to protect the assets of Montgomery Ward.
And you succeeded wildly.
And most importantly, our associates and customers. Protecting our assets is a big job.
Not to mention covering your assets.
Everyone here at Montgomery Ward.
And wait for the next character. There we go.
Do you have a minute?
Sure. Hey, thanks to you and Joey for filling in for us last Friday night.
Oh.
I hear you bowled a 182.
Well, it was just beginner's luck. Andy, I need to talk to you about something. A guy that I work with has been...
I'd like you to break his face.
You know what? I don't want to talk about this here. I have a break at 3:30. Could we meet in your office?
Sure.
That'd be great.
Okay, I'll see you then.
Thanks.
And suddenly, magically, it's 3:30.
About a month ago, I noticed that this customer was coming in just about every day. Since he always bought something, I figured that he wasn't a shoplifter.
But just compulsive.
Just when I realized that he always waited until Rob Kovac was at the register. So yesterday, I watched them much more closely.
Discreetly, as always.
Answering machines to the counter, but Rob only scanned the ticket on one of them. I figured the customer must have changed his mind about getting the other two, but Rob bagged all three.
Remember when the black market was so hot for answering machines? Yeah, neither do I.
He saw me watching him, so he must know that I'm suspicious, but I don't know, he must not care, because the same customer came back later and the same thing happened with cordless phones.
Hey, he was just helping a bunch of gabby teenage girls feed their habit.
Does he think I'm just going to look the other way?
Well, Jennifer, Loss Prevention and Safety knows your department has a serious shortage problem. We suspect associate theft is the reason, and we've been watching your department closely for about a week.
So that comes out to about 15 answering machines and cordless phones each.
Shopping tests and checking associates for underringing and unauthorized discounts to friends. We would have caught him eventually.
Once he graduated to big screen TVs.
Will he go to jail like the guys that you caught stealing and receiving?
Nah, we'll just let him be the poor sucker that has to open on Black Friday. He'll get trampled to death.
You see, the company comes down hard on associates who steal. It makes us less profitable.
Well, people who steal make me angry, and when it's people that I work with, I get even more upset.
Their souls should all be as crushed as mine.
Or they're stealing from me, too. Oh, I have to get back to work here.
You know, Jennifer, I'd like to take action on this report.
If you know what I mean.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, I just saw a woman shoplift a Walkman. It was just a minute ago. She put it in her shoulder bag.
Okay, can you describe her?
Yeah, silver AM/FM cassette.
Well, so did you catch her?
No, I followed her. We taped her too, but she left the store without taking anything else.
But I saw her steal it.
Well, I can't detain anyone unless I personally see them take the merchandise and keep them in my sight until they leave the store. It's company policy.
Company policy also says I have to dust for fingerprints and footprints and get advice from the shoeshine kid down the street.
All right? Associates like you are the best source we have to deter shoplifters.
Well, all right.
Okay.
See you later.
See you later.
You know, I'm seriously starting to question Andy's effectiveness here.
It's like Carl. But they love empty areas like this, with no associates to bother them.
Still working at opening that illicit car wash, I see.
Because it's so easy to take...
Maybe this hat'll make me a baller.
It's not always easy to spot a shoplifter, even if you're watching one closely. Shoplifters can look and act like anyone.
What I'm trying to say is shoplifters are all shapeshifters.
Casual. Honest customers can display shoplifting traits. Is this customer a shoplifter because she's holding a shirt over her bag? Well, maybe so.
But I'll have to consult my magic 8-ball first.
All shoplifters have one thing in common. They hate eye contact and...
Oh, hi there. What is this thing I was trying to steal anyway? No foolin'. Well, not interested enough to care. Bye.
Affects our profits the same way associate theft does. It drives up the cost of our merchandise and makes us less competitive.
No, I'd say Walmart and Target make you less competitive.
Under control. We all need to work together to protect our profits.
Well, not our, but still.
Customer service will deter many shoplifters, but there will be times when you suspect that someone has shoplifted. You may even see them conceal an item they haven't paid for. Now, when this happens, call Loss Prevention and Safety. Let us handle it.
Yeah, someone's trying to rip off the shoe department. Yeah. Someone will be right there. Psych! How does that shoe feel on the other foot? Huh, Jeff?
Her shoes and her purse. It's not on tape, but I'm getting her now.
Is the suspect still there?
Yep. She's trying on athletic shoes.
I'll be right there.
And guess what? It's the same woman that Carl reported earlier, the one we suspect took the Walkman.
Talk about convenience.
She's wearing a light-colored long-sleeve sweater. She's about in her 50s, tall.
Kind of a cross between a politician and a spaced-out grandmother.
She's still wearing the athletic shoes.
Andy, she's over there. Tall woman.
And oi, in the flavin'!
Okay, I got a visual on her, Karen.
Hen for rooster in the hen house.
Parking lot. I want you to follow me so you can be a witness, okay?
Yeah, but do you think she could be carrying a weapon?
Man, I just saw what my alimony payments are gonna be. Like, I really care.
Hey.
Jeff. Just watch everything carefully and don't say anything.
Reminds me of orientation day at Amway.
Excuse me, ma'am. I'm with Montgomery Ward Loss Prevention and Safety, and if you'd accompany me to the office, we'd like to determine the ownership of those shoes you're wearing and the shoes you have in the bag.
That is the worst beat poetry I have ever heard.
Accompany me to the office, we can determine the ownership of those shoes.
I've never done anything like this before.
Get caught, that is.
Well, you did a great job, Jeff. Now I need to take a witness statement from you and complete a shoplifting report for our records. Oh, by the way, I'm going to submit your name to the Profit Partner Recognition Program.
Not. I was only joking, Jeff.
But what's going to happen to her?
Well, they'll probably make her take a 20-mile jog in spike heels while listening to warped Sheryl Crow tapes on that stolen Walkman.
Mm-hmm. Well, Jennifer, Rob Kovac's case has been resolved, and we've recovered almost all the merchandise he stole.
Good.
Unfortunately for us, they just invented voicemail.
Somebody else at this store who has the same idea.
Oh, and this is for you.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
This should come in handy.
Dear Jennifer, snitches get stitches. I'm watching you, Rob Kovac. Andy!
It's an attitude, taking responsibility. And it's not just my responsibility. It's everyone's responsibility to protect our merchandise and cash and keep our customers and associates safe. You can choose to take that responsibility or to ignore it.
And if you choose not to decide, you still have made a choice.
And I certainly need your help.
Understatement of the decade.
We can make Montgomery Ward a better, more profitable, and safer place to work. Let's all work together.
Montgomery Ward would like to remind you that we saw you steal that 70-inch projection TV. We just didn't have any handy witnesses. And yeah, we kinda did help you strap the thing down in the back of your El Camino. And yeah, we're aware that the guys in back are trading VCRs for bottles of expensive liquor down at Bottles R Us. And yes, we're also aware that... Well, I just finished my shift and lost my job. And things seem to be going so well. I mean, I admit, I thought I just got lucky and landed at a really peaceful store, but I mean, nothing looked amiss, and I consider myself at least somewhat observant. But apparently, I managed to miss some shoplifters. Apparently, there was more shoplifting going on during my one shift than there had been in an entire decade. And apparently I owe the store $6,000 for lost merchandise. And just as I was starting to like this place... Well, that's it for today's archive. Join me next time for a probably unintentional on-location episode.
This way.
You know, I paid for this. A present for my daughter. She's out in the car. Just hiding from me so she wouldn't see it. I didn't take anything.
I saw you conceal the merchandise under your shirt.
I didn't take anything. You know, I paid for this.
Don't make this worse than it is.
What's happening?
I didn't take anything. I didn't take anything. I didn't take anything.
You're here to sell things, not to get personal. Someone ought to teach you your manners. I'm going to report you to the manager.